I've had this desire to start some kind of shop for years, and I've always loved watching small business owners do their thing on YouTube, but it's mostly just stayed in the dream stage, and I've been watching others succeed in their businesses without doing anything about mine. You can only spend so much time watching, and eventually you need to take that leap of faith and start doing. Hopefully you're in that boat too, so let's go on the adventure of starting a small business together. Countless hours of small business content I have consumed over the years, I've seen a lot of stuff where people share their advice after their business has become successful, and maybe only a handful of people who share the actual process, especially when they don't know what they're doing yet. So here we are today, because I do not know what I am doing, but we're going to do it together, so let's get started. Think of your shop like a flower seed. You might be ready for the flowers to bloom right now, but there are things that we need to do to make that happen. So things like watering it and planting it and letting time pass for it to grow and flourish and turn into a beautiful blossom. So your business is going to be like that, and we are going to be like farmers planting the seeds of our business today so that eventually we can harvest the flowers and enjoy the fruit of our labors. Before we can do anything, we need to nail down the purpose of our business and a few other starting questions. So I got this cute little notebook to house all of my fun business plans. I would encourage you to write them down. We will need to store them digitally, but we'll get to that later. So pull out your little notebook, and we're going to start with the purpose. First, let's answer a few questions about our business. I did not come up with these questions. I got these from other YouTubers that I've been watching or friends who have small businesses, but they're super helpful, so I will share them with you. The first question that we are going to ask is, why do you want to start a business? For me, the reasons why I want to start a business today is because I want to use my God-given creativity in a way that's honoring to Him. I want to set myself up for a future of being able to work at home with my family, and I just really want to encourage other people to feel joy and feel contentment in their daily lives, even if that's through small, little, cute products. So those are kind of the main reasons why I want to start a business, but I want you to take a moment and think about why you want to start your business and write that down in your little journal. The second question we're going to ask is, what do you want your business to be? This is also a very important question because you might be providing some kind of service or you might want to create products. So those are the kind of things that you need to think about in determining what you want your business to be. I told you guys that I have been thinking about starting a business for years and years, so I have various ideas, but the one thing that I kept coming back to was wanting to sell some kind of physical product based on my art. We don't need to talk about the fact that I haven't been making any art. I mean, we do, but not right now. And I know that I love to support other small artists or small business owners who sell little products here and there. So those are kind of the things that are inspiring me to make this decision for my business. Some of my favorites are Uncomfy Co., All Things Lillian. They both are two really big small business owners that I've watched a lot on YouTube over the years and are really, I guess, propelling me to take this step to actually starting my own business. Although the main structure of your business should relatively stay the same, there is still room for growth and changes that can be made in the future. For example, one of my favorite small business owners is Uncomfy Co., and she's a really good example of being able to transition your business to fit your season of life. She started out making handmade polymer clay items and is now transitioned more into manufacturing. And so that's just a really good example of ways that your business can shift over time if needed. I don't want you guys to think of this as a box because I'm trying not to think of it as a box for myself. I want you to think of it more like a path that you're starting down that could turn at any point, or you could choose a different direction if need be. The last question we're going to ask is, what are some of your business goals? And we're going to split this up into a short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. I was taught how to do this from my friend Melissa, who does surface pattern design and taught herself how to do art. And so she's now helping small business owners. You should check out her website. She's really great and has lots of great resources But those are the questions we're going to ask right now. I like to work backwards from my long-term goals down to my short-term goals because I think the long-term goals kind of help me to make the short-term goals, if that makes sense. So I have 2 long-term goals. Those are going to be my 3 to 5 year goals. One of them is to sell products in a physical store, not necessarily my physical store, but I would love to partner with a boutique or another small business owner and be able to sell products in their shop. And my second long-term goal is to be able to support my family from home. I would love to stay home with my kids one day. I don't have kids yet, but hopefully in the future. So those are my 2 long-term goals, and my other goals are just going to be helping me to reach those. Moving on to medium-term goals, these are going to be the 1 to 3 year goals after you start your business. And for me, I'm thinking of things like having a stable, consistent income, being able to have a flexible schedule, and being able to launch collections of products. We'll talk more about that in my next video, which is going to be all about products and figuring that stuff out. But for now, I will just say I would love the flexibility of being able to do like collections of products, and that just gives me kind of the ability to change and grow, kind of like we were talking about before. So we move on to the last section of goals, which is short-term goals, and this is going to be within 1 year of starting my business. So I'm thinking about things like actually launching my first collection and starting the business, building a community online to help promote my business and help other people with their businesses, and also to partner with a brand that I love. Here's some examples of brands that I would love to partner with, but this is a good thing to think about if there are brands maybe that you would love to work with, if there's some kind of community that you could provide, and those kinds of things is what I'm thinking through for the short term. So we've taken the first couple steps to launching our business, but this is just the beginning, so we're not stopping here. We have some general ideas of what we want our business to be about down, we do need to do some research now. You can't just really make whatever you want and expect it to be successful. We need to actually look at what will succeed in the long run, and that means doing some research on what will sell, what people want to buy. We need to put ourselves in our customer shoes and see what things they actually want. There is going to be a little bit of overlap because likely you like things that other people also tend to like, but the research phase is super important for actually determining how to make your business succeed. So research is about to become our best friend. And I really don't like research. I just mean, I feel like often I don't have time for research, and that's a bad mindset. I'm trying to correct that myself, and I'm trying to help you also not be that way, because research is really important for actually succeeding. Where I just kind of want to like do stuff and try stuff and figure out what works that way. Research is going to save us a lot of time and money in the future in just figuring out beforehand what might be more likely to succeed. A few things that I'm going to be focusing on in my research are things like, what are other shops doing that I might want to emulate? What kinds of things are trending right now? What kinds of things might my target audience want? What is something that is a gap maybe that I can fill with my business? And all those things are going to come together to help me actually sell products. And you need to figure out what those things are for your business as well. So we're going to be doing that together because I don't know the answers to those questions and we need to figure them out in order for the business to succeed. We're going to talk more about product design and sourcing and manufacturing and all those things in my next video. But for now, we can go ahead and open up Pinterest and make a Pinterest board for this business. I'm going to look at some of these pins and see what things might be things that I want to have on my board for inspiration. So I'm pinning a couple things. I'll have my board linked below if you want to check it out and see what kinds of things I'm looking at, but I also like to organize it by category, so if there's a specific product that I want to take a look at some ideas for, I can put that in its own category, but still have them all organized in one board. I'm also going to create a playlist on YouTube of videos to watch for research so that I can watch them and then keep coming back if I need to rewatch or forget what they talked about, just so that I have some resources for that. I already have actually watched a lot of them, so I will share the current playlist that I have going with you guys if you want that resource. I know that I just love getting those recommendations and learning from different YouTubers. Remember when we were in school and we complained about homework all the time? Because we thought that you didn't do homework in the real world? Well, we have homework to do. I was quite wrong when I thought homework did not matter in high school, because now I look back and I'm actually thankful for the discipline of doing homework, because it makes me more motivated and able to put in the work outside of regular work hours to do things like start a business. So let's talk about the homework we have. Number 1, write down everything we talked about today. Done that. Make sure it's put somewhere safe and updated in my Notion or wherever you are putting yours digitally. Number 2, we are going to make a weekly schedule and actually schedule when we're going to work on this stuff, because I know from my own experience, part of the reason that I've struggled so hard to start a business is because I never actually put it into my schedule when I was going to work on it. I would be like, maybe on this day I might have some free time that I can work on it, or maybe that day, and things always come up. So look at your weekly schedule and put the days where you are going to work on those things. So for me, those days are usually Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Today's Thursday, so we're working on this today, and that is part of my schedule, and you need to treat it like a meeting or an appointment or like an actual job, so that you don't schedule things over top. Don't let this be something that is flexible and, oh, I can meet that friend for coffee during that time. Like, no, you need to treat this, if you want this to be your job one day, your full-time job, start treating it like your job now. That's a big problem that I've been trying to squash recently. So today, for example, I scheduled my hangout with my friend before I started work so that I could dedicate the whole day to working on this video and working on starting my business. The last piece of homework that we have is to decrease distractions. I mentioned this kind of with scheduling, but distractions are our number 1 barrier to getting stuff done and to starting your business right now. So if you really think about it, how much time could you have spent on your business if you didn't doom scroll or spend 6 hours watching TV? Maybe 6 is exaggerating, but you kind of get what I'm saying. If you add up all the time that you spend doing things that you didn't need to do or that you don't need to do, you could have a lot more of your business done. I could have a lot more of my business done if I actually had limits on my social media use and stopped doom scrolling. I do actually believe you're busy, because I'm also busy, but we do need to be realistic, know our habits, and know what limits we need to put in to help us stay on track with this. If you lack self-control like I do, I want to introduce you to the brick. This tiny little gray square is designed to put a physical barrier between you and your social media addictions, or any app, I guess. I've been trying to use it every day for times when I know I do not need to be going on social media. So like during work time, in the morning, in the evening, it helps me to stay focused so much more than any other intervention app. I've tried a lot of them, but the physical barrier and actually having to walk to go turn this on or off helps me a lot. So it's been super helpful just to have a physical barrier between me and the amount of time I spend on my social media. So, not sponsored. I just love this thing. So we've got some initial planning done, we've got some homework to do, and now we have each other for accountability. So I hope you'll stick around and join me in this journey of starting a business, because I really want to do it this time, and I really want you to be able to do it this time as well. So again, I do not know what I'm doing, but we're going to figure it out together, and there will be many, many more episodes of this series coming. So I hope to see you next time, and happy business planning. Bye, friends.